What's happening, everybody? Hello! How we doing out there? Welcome to Film Junkie Live. Oh, it's the day before the end of the world. Right, guys? Oh, boy. Make sure you guys subscribe. Do all that. Hit that like, thumbs up, everything. But yes, tomorrow's the big day. What's gonna happen? Oh, my God. The reality show that is life, right? Hopefully you guys are doing good. Don't worry, I think we'll be fine no matter who gets it. We'll be fine. Well, probably not, but hey. It's all gravy pants, but hopefully you guys are doing great. Let's see who's out there. We got Ryan. Hey guys, I've been reading a monthly comic, 10 issues of Long Halloween. The last Halloween, yeah. Do yourself a favor, buy the first 2 issues, so good, yeah. Seems like DC and comic books are doing very well. Forgot about those issues that were coming out along with the whole all-in and absolute stuff. Ninja Gamer 13, no offense, but if you used half the time you spent ranting about Snyder fans on pushing for the Ayer cut, like release the Snyder cut, it'd actually be Smith productive. Maybe we'd actually get somewhere. Okay. Ninja Gamer, well, I got a comment about that. And apparently you think that I can do something to magically make the Ayer cut get released. But hey, what's going on? Mama Film Junkies here. That's fine. Good to see you, Mom. Shano, what's happening? Good evening, everyone. Happy first Monday of November. Happy November. Yeah, I know, right? Who's not shaving? I'm not doing that, you know. I already have some facial hair, so I won't be shaving it. But, I'm not going to go full on, like, not shave everything. What's going on, Axel? You got a Batfleck figure just arrived from Fonjoy. That's cool. Sure, that looks pretty cool. I don't know if you posted images. What's going on, JD McRae? We got Jason. If you're Jason right here, good to see you, buddy. And Jay Leva really gave us a kick in the nuts over the animation question, huh? Yeah, he just answered the way that he should and gave facts and logistics, which was good. Mr. Nobody, if the Batman ends after the 3rd film, what about the side characters? It's interesting. I don't know if it completely ends or they keep on going with other things. I don't know. What's going on, Cal? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Absolute Superman releases in 2 days. I know. I still got to get the other two. I'm like falling way behind. But I'll get there one of these days. Did I do that thing? No, I didn't. Let's see what else we got. We got Kenneth. What is happening, Kenneth? I think it's been a while since I've seen you in the chat. What's going on, Lane? People are losing it over the election, but I think China is going to win. Yeah, probably. Manolo, what is going on? We got D-Man. Get the popcorn ready for tomorrow. I know. Basically, that's what it's going to be the case. I'm really hoping Batman appears in the finale. Yeah, well, what's going on there, Caleb? Good to see you. Did I say hi to you, Mr. Nobody? Yes, I did. Say hi, everybody. Cool. But yeah, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? Like I said, I don't think it's going to... it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know. We're either effed, no matter who wins, or we're just going to be doing the same thing. I don't know. I always liked George Carlin's little rant about that whole thing, about the whole voting thing and how the country was bought and sold a long time ago and all that stuff. I always liked that because sometimes you just kind of go like, what are we doing here? And it's gotten so goddamn tribal. I don't know. The reaction to whoever wins is, again, that's what I'm kind of going, oh boy, what's the reaction going to be like with either one wins? Because it's gotten so freaking tribal. And so tribal. But anyways, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Do all that. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. I had a pretty decent weekend. Pretty relaxing weekend. Stayed home and just kind of chilled, which was great. Didn't really do much, but just relax and take care of things at home and everything. Sometimes you just got to have like one of those weekends. And it definitely was one of those weekends. And really like it. But... before we get the show started here, we got a follow-up. Hello, we got a follow-up. Do I have like something I was going to... Let's see. There we go. Follow-up. We got a follow-up here, guys. Okay, that's not annoying. But we got a follow-up here. Yeah, before we dive into everything, of course, we're going to be talking about DC stuff and something, an interview that happened when it comes to Superman and Lois. And Penguin episode 3, box office, and then, of course, Robert Zemeckis. But I got a little follow-up when it comes to, well, a little bit of drama. A little bit of drama that, of course, you know, got started because, silly me, what did I do last week, guys? You guys know what I did. I saw that image of animated SnyderVerse stuff that was like a collage of images from, you know, Axel, who's in the chat, and some other images. And, of course, I posted it saying, hey, I'm not going to say anything. Not going to say anything. And then, of course, yeah, you know what happens. That side of the Snyder fandom saw it. And then, of course, you get the live action or nothing, this, that, and this, and blah, blah, blah. All that kind of stuff. But then, of course, if you guys saw the beginning of the vodka stream on Friday, I acknowledged the fact that Jay Oliva did respond a couple of days later to somebody asking about him or Ben returning for animated Batfleck. And then, of course, he laid it down that, hey, that's not going to happen. That's just not going to happen because anybody who's involved, and when it comes to the logistics of profit participation in the creators, they ain't going to take a huge pay cut that would be for animation and do it. They're not going to do that. So he basically squashed the whole animated thing, the whole conversation about animation, you know, because some of us just Snyder fans are just kind of going like, well, live action don't look like it's going to happen. I'll take animation. I'll take comic book, you know, because we just want to see the stories. So there was all that, of course. So then I showed you guys a tweet. I showed you guys a certain tweet that I acknowledged because I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And it comes from somebody named Hayden, who goes by Danger on Twitter. And this was the tweet. Oops. Why is that not working? Oh, that's great. Why is that not working? Hold on. Well, that's great. Hold on. Did I turn that off? See, and now it's all messed up. Come on. What are we doing here? No, not that. Oh, don't tell me the screen share is not working. Oh, shit. See, I'm all messed up right now, guys. Hold on. Why did that not work? There we go. We got the right background. Nope. Why is the freaking screen not sharing? Great. Let's see. Hold on. Sorry, guys. For some reason the screen isn't sharing. Let's see. Display. Man, of course it's not going to be working. Why is it not going to be working? Nope. That's not it. Oh, man, you got to be kidding me with this. You got to be kidding me with this. Do. See, that turns off. Why is it not working? Should be display capture. It's not working. Well, that's great. That's great. So the screen capture is not working. Crap. Why the hell is the screen capture not working? Man, I mean, I guess sorry guys, I should have checked this beforehand, but usually it just freaking works. But it is not working. It is not working at all. Wow. So that works, everything works, anything works. Huh. Why the hell would that not work? Overlay, that's that. Oops. Hold on, let's see here. I cannot believe that is not working. I wonder... Hold on a sec. Hold on. There we go. That's why. Ha 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 ha. All right, Jesus Christ. I had a feeling. I was like, wait a minute. I think I know why. I switched something up. So sorry about that. Yeah, over the weekend, I was like doing a little adjusting down there, and I switched something up right there. So my bad, because I have a little modulator that does like a little splitter thing, and I put it on a different thing. I connected it differently. So sorry about that. Little things right there. You know, it happens. All right, so we're back. Sorry about that, guys. All right, where was I? All right, so yeah, of course, talking about that whole thing and everything like that. And then, of course, you know, we got some drama stuff and everything like that. And then I talked about this particular tweet that was said by somebody who's in the fandom, you know, the certain part of the fandom, who tweeted this out right here, which was this very tweet right here that says, as a Snyder fan, you have two choices. Trust the friend and coworker of Zack who has said both live action Zack Snyder's Justice League is possible and the Affleck film, or trust the YouTubers who try to manipulate the fandom and control Zack. They haven't participated in any fan event, donated, and have been telling us to give up. So I talked about that, and I was just like, you know, because I thought that was ridiculous, because I'm like, are we back in 2018? Are we back in 2018, guys? Because that's not the first time it's been thrown at me and other people that we're trying to manipulate and control Zack. It's just ridiculous. Grown-ass man, smarter than all of us put together. Yes, try to control Zack. So, went on a little rant and stuff like that, which I know Ninja Gamer doesn't like the fact that I like rant off about it. But I wanted to show you guys this right here because, well, he responded. He responded right here, and I'll show you, just in case you didn't see it. As you can see, nice little thread right here and whatnot with clips from my little ranty rant right there and screenshots and everything like that. So a response, and I was like, okay, a response. Wasn't sure if it was gonna get a response, because like I said, I was blocked from the guy. So obviously with that tweet right there. So I'm just gonna read you off and, just kind of, do a little response to all that right now. I just wanted to, since I've already been talking about this and I'm just responding to the response. So this is what he had to say right here. Obviously tagging me, said, let's add some context to this cute little stream you did. He said it was cute. Maybe he thinks I'm cute. I don't know. Probably not. Anyways, believe me, David, we all know about your time at Full Circle and much you've done with Zack. We know because it's all you speak about. That's right, guys. It's all I speak about. Here's the hyperbole right off the bat. The hyperbole right off the bat is I constantly speak about Full Circle and the things I've done with Zack. Constantly, right, guys? Every stream, every video, a lot of my tweets just constantly talk about that. Gotta love the hyperbole. It's great. Using it as a pretentious tool to let your followers know how cool you are. Right, guys? You guys automatically think I'm cool just because of all that, right? Of all the talking I do about stuff I've done with Zack in Full Circle, right? You guys, I hope you think I'm cool. You being called David sounds, I know, right? People don't, yeah. That's like what my mom calls me, David, not Dave. You guys know me as Dave. He already messed up. If you research into what engaged that post, I was engaged by someone who's involved in your circle of friends telling me and everyone in my post to give up. And we were then lectured on how we don't know what's best for Zack. I never once labeled you or tagged you, but if you assumed it was you just by the words themselves, maybe there's some truth in there. If the shoe fits, pal. That's right. If the shoe fits, pal. I love that. So I love that because I know who he engaged with when it came to that. And that person's not a YouTuber. Now, I'm kind of wondering, who are these YouTubers then if you weren't referring to me? Come on, I'm not dumb. I know I'm lumped in there. There's no way that I'm not lumped in there when it comes to that. I love it. It's like, hey, I wasn't talking about you or nothing. What are you talking about? But the fact that you think it's you, well, that shows something about you. Get out of here. Come on. Just be straight up. And if not, tell me who the YouTubers are. So that was kind of funny. But again, the hyperbole of like everything else, that's good. So then he follows it up by That's what I mean by controlling the fandom. No, you said manipulating the fandom and controlling Zack. Okay? Such a ridiculous statement. That's the main reason why I put the tweet on blast. I also find it interesting how you on a public stream to your followers tried to label me as someone who possibly mentioned something about you at the Egyptian theater. Is your entire stream ran on assumptions? Well, the first part, I'm pretty much 100% sure that I'm lumped in there somewhere. Now, when it came to the whole thing, when I saw a tweet that before when some of this madness happened, I was like, oh yeah, I saw somebody say like, because I'm not a true fan, I'm not a true Zack Snyder fan, I didn't go to that full week of screenings at the Egyptian. I even said in the stream though, I was like, maybe it was him, I'm not sure it was him. So I didn't even 100% even say it was him. So yeah, you got me there, fine. Or do you care enough to provide them with accurate information? I sure you respect them at least that much. Okay, so there you go, keep going. You somehow also accuse the issue to you not attending because you have a job? That sentence is weird. I accuse the issue. So I accuse the issue. That's an interesting way. No, I said the reason why I didn't go to the week-long events was, well, I have work, didn't want to take the time off, had things to do, and of course with this and everything, didn't feel like driving out to LA for 2 hours and then an hour back, which was 3 hours total. And I even said on the stream, I was like, yeah, I've already seen all the movies in the movie theater, saw Zack Snyder's Justice League on the big screen, which is great. I'm like, you know what? I don't need to take these tickets. Hopefully they'll go to other fans who haven't seen these movies. Hopefully they do that. And yeah, that was basically what I said. And then, of course, he says right here, people from all around the world, as great Snyder fans who have their own lives, troubles, found a way to make it there, with jobs, families, and all kinds of things thrown their way. So if you didn't want to go, fine, I don't care. I said I wanted things. Hey, let's spin. Let's start spinning. I'm like, no, I was like, nah, I have to do this and that. No, but I'm going to be there for the Rebel Moon director's cuts, at least. And it's kind of funny because what he says right here is kind of him doing what he's claiming I'm doing right here. But talking down on other fans as if you have this moral high ground of being better than any other fan because of your life and your previous events is possibly a terrible way to treat the fandom and also making these events more about you. What? Huh? I was making the events more about me, apparently, guys. Again, with the hyperbole. And no, I wasn't talking down. I was literally going, I hope that, these tickets that I'm not, because I registered to get some of those tickets. I was hoping it would go to more dedicated fans because I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that because of job and just driving out there just wasn't going to be in the cards for me. But apparently, I look down on the fandom and then I make the events all about me, which is where I believe a lot of the issue thrown your way comes from. No, the issues that get thrown at me are because anytime I bring up animation, you guys get goddamn offended and insulted by it. That's what it is, lately, at least. That's what it is. It has nothing to do with all the other stuff. It has me to do with just suggesting that, hey, if we're not going to get live action, why not animation or a comic book? And you guys get offended and insulted. And I've seen the tweets where people are like, it'd be insulting if that happened. I'm like, you'd be insulted? All right, cool. I was like, wow, all right, that's fine. And that's not it yet. That's not it. Then, of course, he quote tweets what he already said. He said, this shouldn't even happen in this fandom. We all support a director and his films and want the best for him. Whether we all agree on that approach can be up to the individual. Targeting fans online should never happen. Let's see. Wait, I think I'm missing something here. Hold on. I think I missed one thing here. Oh, maybe not. Let's see. It was after this one, right? No, I think that was it. I thought there was like another tweet. Maybe I missed it. I don't know. Looking. No, never mind. All right, so let's just do this one right here. So, okay, so following up, he said, this shouldn't even happen in the fandom. We all support a director and his films and want the best for him. Whether we all agree on the approach can be up to the individual. Targeting fans online should never happen. This constant back and forth between fans is ridiculous. I agree. I actually agree with that. Okay? I agree. And targeting. And there was like another response. Maybe it's no longer there. I'm not even sure. I could have swore there was like something else I remember seeing where, yeah. I don't think it's there anymore, but I remember there was something where he was responding, and now I'm no longer seeing it, so maybe it's no longer there. Oh, yeah, there was this right here. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so before that, somebody named Just Ben right here said, I was told about something that I guess I approached something when this one dude named Just Ben said Mark Waid, he made a Mark Waid comment, and I was saying I told him he was disrespectful to DC creators on multiple occasions. Again, multiple occasions. It's always funny when they always just say it's all the time or multiple occasions. The hyperbole is insane. I see this film junkie bullying people in the fan base all the time. That's right, guys. I'm bullying the fandom all the time. For XYZ reasons. Very bizarre. And then Hayden right here said, exactly. We somehow are free to get targeted on YouTubers' streams because of things they don't agree with. Is this really how this fandom should be? How do you preach support of the fandom and then do things like this? It's all bullying and hiding behind a live stream chat. Hiding behind a live stream chat. How am I hiding right now? How was I hiding? How am I hiding right now? Hiding? I can't be more out there. The reason why I'm not going to, beat the shit out of my keyboard to respond to this, I was like, I'll respond right here. And bullying, guys. Bullying. I know. You think it sounds like it's a joke. And then, of course, he followed up when it came to other things. This is the thing that he said before. This is an interesting one right here. I'm flattered I got featured on the stream, but if you're going to put me on instead of hiding it like a coward, feel free to at least tag me. I know you mentioned you were blocked. Yes, because you blocked me. But I'm sure you have enough agents around social media so that the message can be sent my way. Oh, agents of social media. Does anybody want to be my agent of social media? I'll take in job applications, submit a resume maybe, if you want to be an agent of social media. What? And again, how? So he's calling me a coward and saying I was hiding. So when I talked about his initial tweet on Friday, he's saying that I was hiding it on a public live stream. Does that make sense to anyone out there? Does that make sense? Does that make any kind of sense? It literally was just, I did it publicly. He posted a tweet publicly that I thought was ridiculous. I responded to that on a public platform, and now he's responding to this, and I'm responding again on a public platform. There's no hiding. If anybody was hiding, it was him who blocked me initially, and that's why I didn't tag or send my freaking social media agents his way. But essentially, he did find it because those guys in the loud part of the fandom, they tend to find my stuff because it's out there in public. It's not the first time. Not the first time it happened. But then, of course, they talk about the bullying. So, of course, how he responded to that guy, he said it's all bullying and hiding behind a live chat. So now I'm bullying, guys, and I'm targeting. Okay, so that gets used a lot when it comes to this right here. You really think this is bullying? Does anybody think this is bullying, or is it just me responding to someone's tweet? It's me responding to someone's tweet. That's what it is, okay? I kind of wonder about this because, you know, this individual right here is part of the Sell the SnyderVerse campaign, part of that group out there, right? I kind of wonder, I'm wondering if, you know, when the leaders of the Sell the SnyderVerse to Netflix have, well, you know, they've taken some of my other previous rants and have gone through them and, you know, of course, talked a bunch of shit and criticized and even like made, I think like they even made fun of my height because I'm not a tall person. You know, they kind of did that, calling me beta, all that kind of stuff. They've done that. But I don't know if you guys remember, not too long ago, but when the leader of that campaign talked about a story about last year at the Rebel Moon premiere where he followed me to the bathroom to see what would happen. Lost track of me and Steven, and then we ended up walking into the bathroom, and then he said he took his time because he wanted to see if we would do something and was ready for us to do something. So essentially, he wanted to have a violent altercation in the bathroom, little fisticuffs, maybe some Mission Impossible Fallout. I wonder how he felt about that, because if I'm bullying, what the fuck is that? And then, of course, within that panel, they were calling us pussies and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like going, wait, so what is that compared to me just responding to tweets? I'm kind of wondering, what does he feel about that? Something tells me it's, huh? Well, I mean, come on. I mean, I would hope, because this, I mean, regardless of all this, Hayden seems like he's a nice dude. I would hope, if he thinks that what I'm doing is bullying, that he totally talked to his boy, because I know they've associated with each other. Hopefully he's talked to him, the leader of Sell the SnyderVerse, said, hey, that wasn't good. That wasn't a good look. Because I didn't get any follow-up after that. I didn't see any follow-up or anything, because I'm kind of wondering if they realized after it got blasted on Twitter about that little story that people were like, holy shit. And people were going, wow, this doesn't look good. And hopefully he feels that way, because all I'm doing is responding. I'm not trying to bully. There's no bullying happening right here. Okay? But how do you feel about that little story where somebody followed me to the bathroom to see what happens at a public event? Wow. Hopefully, totally didn't like that. Maybe. All right, and then I'll wrap this up in a little bit. Guys, sorry, it's taking a little bit long. And then, of course, he said, this shouldn't happen. This shouldn't even happen in this fandom. I agree. Especially that one thing where, you know, when I went to the director's cuts of Rebel Moon and during like the intermission, you know what? I was there by myself because I couldn't find a friend to come with me. I felt a little uncomfortable because I know certain individuals, like the leaders of the Sell the movement thing, whatever the hell, I know they don't like me. So I always would like, hey, let's keep my distance. Don't want anything to happen here because it shouldn't ever happen. It's cape shit in movies. There's no reason why there should be any kind of violent confrontation. But it kind of sucks when I'm at the event and I'm just not feeling like good. I'm sure he felt great. I'm sure Hayden felt great. But me, yeah, because of the leader of that movement seems a little unhinged. And then I thought that was it when he was talking about, you know, targeting again. And then he followed it up one more time. He says, you claim you're all about supporting events and the fandom, but it appears you only are when it's something you deem valuable to this fandom. Yeah, I'm sorry that I don't think Sell the SnyderVerse to the Netflix is valuable. I always thought it was a dumb idea. I'm sorry. There are people out there that are going to think it's a dumb idea, and you have to be able to take in that criticism. That's just the way it is. If you're fighting for something, guess what? You're going to get criticized. You're going to get criticized. Little wake-up call right there. You or anyone else doesn't get to decide that. Okay, if you think it's valuable, by all means, it's valuable to you, not valuable to me. Hey, I could criticize it just like anything that's valuable to me that you don't think is valuable, you can criticize it the other way. See how that works? See how that works? Kind of crazy. Free speech. So instead of trying to target any fan, no targeting, just responding. Let the fandom be a fandom. And all right, that's pretty much it right there. Dave's always been like this. Not surprising. That's what the Batfleck account actually said. And then somebody said, you've always been a joke. It's kind of funny. So there you go, guys. Sorry. I just wanted to give a little update. So just to round everything up, no targeting is happening. No bullying is happening. Because I put something out there, I got a response, I responded to the response, asked questions within the responding, saw the tweet, and the ridiculousness of manipulating the fandom and trying to control Zach is such an out there statement, I couldn't help but be like, what the hell? And the fact that you put YouTubers in there, I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm lumped in there. I am lumped in there. And I'm not going to say, I've seen other tweets, I'm 100%. Let's not play dumb. I'm looped in there. And yeah, there's no bullying. And then I just kind of wonder, like, how did you feel? Like, how did he feel about that little story from the leader of the Sell the SnyderVerse to Netflix movement? If what I'm doing is bullying, what the hell was that? How would he feel if somebody at a public event followed him to a bathroom to see what happens? How would he feel? It's kind of interesting. And what I've always said, and you guys know this, what I've always said, do whatever the hell you want. Do whatever you want, okay? You don't have to give up. You don't have to move on. You can use whatever hashtag you want. You can have campaigns. You could do this. You could do that. By all means, do it, okay? I'm not going to do it. And then if something comes across my table that I'd go, yeah, I'm going to comment on it because that's what I do. That's what I do. That's what I do. I put it out there. That's what I do. It's part of the thing that I do. It's part of what I do. And you got to be able to accept that, okay? There's going to be criticism. Always criticism, okay? And hey, guess what? Jay Oliva put the kibosh on the animated thing. All right. I'll stop putting it out there. I know these guys think I do it all the time, but I don't. I'll stop putting it out there. Maybe I'll make some jokes every now and again. And if you get offended by jokes, I don't know what to tell you. That side of the fandom keeps on calling people beta and, all this stuff like that. I'm kind of going, but you guys can't take, okay. So do whatever you want. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. Nobody's trying to manipulate. Nobody's trying to do anything. It's not like that. I mean, again, I got this shit back in 2018, 2019. Same thing. And it was ridiculous then. It's ridiculous now. Stop it. Just stop it. And yeah, like I said, I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'm sure in different circumstances, we could probably sit down and have a beer and have a great conversation and everything like that. 100%. 100%. But, all I did was respond to the response, and now I'm responding again on my platform. Okay, no hiding, no nothing. And I even said on Friday, I'm even open to having anybody to come on for a debate. It can't be more not hidden than that. So, all right, done. Done. Hey, there's Miss Saggy. I figured you might show up since you kind of knew about this a little bit. Yeah, little drama, not that much, but all right. We could hopefully put that, because like I said, I'm not going to go on any kind of crusade. I'm not going to go on any kind of crusade to just try to end their campaigns or anything like that. The thing is, I'm like, all right, the animation thing is out. Now I'm just kind of going like, all right, it was kind of funny because somebody responding to him and, that stream on Friday talked about how William was on the stream. And William, we talked about it with the panel. William brought up the fact that hashtags don't work anymore. You have to have something tangible to show that you can make money with this. And he then said, whatever that is for somebody to come up with. And I went, I absolutely agree with that. Because now I'm like going, all right, if you guys want your live action, don't be upset when I start asking questions or somebody else starts asking questions like, where's the money going to come from? Is everybody coming back? You got the DCU happening. Are you just betting on it's going to lose and then Warner Brothers is just going to go back to... Questions. That's usually what I do. Yeah, I'll get a little snarky and sarcastic, sure. And apparently these guys don't like that. Sorry. But I'm like, I just start asking questions, okay? Animation was just a suggestion. It wasn't like anything crazy, but man, did you guys get so offended by it. So offended. Hey. Anyways, all right. Now for the initial time. Don't ask questions. Just keep yelling at the clouds and say the same talking points about how... Oh, yeah. See, that's the thing, too. RJ, you know, and forgive me for like, because, you know, we have Jay Oliva, which, you know, he's talked about, I mean, especially the 2 screenshots with his initial tweet, because, you know, Hayden in his initial tweet was like, oh, yeah, Jay Oliva said that it's possible for a live-action Zack Snyder Justice League and Ben Affleck Batman movie, even though he never actually fully said that. He basically was like saying that there's no animation because of the pay cut. And then another screenshot, he said like, hey, don't use AI. Why would anybody use AI? If you guys really want to do something, create campaigns or whatever to show the studios that it would make money. Basically saying what Williams said. And then, of course, but, you know, in some of these guys, especially Hayden, they were like, oh, yeah, he 100% that it's possible for Zack Snyder. I'm like, no, he actually didn't really say that. He just, like, gave you the facts. And that's what I love about Jay Oliva. He gives out facts. So then I was like, all right, fine. He gave out the facts. It's all money. Where's the money going to come from, guys? Where's that going to come from? I think, and this is just me. This is just me right here, just using my old little noggin and logic. I think it's not the best idea that if you want these 3 movies to end up getting greenlit, you probably shouldn't be logging onto Twitter every day and constantly shitting on James Gunn, DC Studios, and Warner Brothers. Now, I'm not saying that he's 100% doing that, but there are a lot of accounts that are doing that. But it just seems like it's a little odd to be like, fuck James Gunn, fuck him, he's this, he's that, he sucks, and so does Warner Brothers, so does DC Studios. Oh, by the way, can you make the 3 movies I want? I'm not sure that's a way to go by it. It's just, you know, they hold the keys. They hold the prize. So let's just tag James Gunn and send him vitriol shit at him. Yeah, that's a smart way to go. And then also, let's have our leader, you know, talk about a story about wanting a violent altercation too. That's a good look. That's a good look. All right. I'm done. I'm done with that. Just had to get that out there. Oh, yeah, you missed it all, Phil. I was just going over some things right now. That's all. Just going over, just responding to that. But yeah, like I said, this doesn't need to be like a full-on thing. Like I said, he said the back and forth thing is ridiculous. Yeah, but I'm also going to respond to the response. There's no target. There's no bullying. Nothing. It's just a response to the response. That's it. I think like when it comes to SnyderVerse stuff, I'm still hopeful about the Ayer cut. And I will support that. Ayer cut, release the Ayer cut hashtag. Hey, I'll do some tweets when it comes to that. Okay? Now when it comes to anything that has sell in it, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Sell the SnyderVerse to Netflix? Dumb. Celebrate the SnyderVerse. Hey, let's do that. Celebrate the SnyderVerse. Let's do that instead. All right. Let's do this. Let's do this right now. And first off, we're going to talk about this because I remember hearing about this and I'm just kind of going like, wait a minute. Hey, yo, if he's not going to be a part of it, I almost busted out my Sylvester Stallone impression. If you're not even a part of it, come on. You know, I'm totally just like messing up on this. But apparently there's not going to be a cliffhanger sequel. There's going to be a cliffhanger reboot with Lily James and Pierce Brosnan to star. That's right. And what's his name? Mr. Sarah, who that's the guy who directed Black Adam. The film was originally meant to be a sequel with Sylvester Stallone, but Stallone dropped out and the film went under a creative overhaul. Boo, boo. What we doing here? What we doing? I wonder why Stallone walked out. Probably because he had a different idea and they had a different idea. I hate that because I'm like, why would you? So we're going to have a cliffhanger reboot as opposed to having like another Stallone sequel where, hey, I would hey, see how old is Sylvester Stallone now? He's like in his 70s climbing rocks. It's just kind of funny. You know? So there you go. Cliffhanger reboot. Starring those two. Oh, we got Christopher Nolan, guys. Christopher Nolan. Why is it? Oh, man. See, that's the thing. It's like when it comes to Christopher Nolan, anytime you hear about Christopher Nolan's like next film, man, does it get like just everybody just gets excited because Christopher Nolan's just one of those guys who's like, hey, you know what? You know, it's what am I going to do next? And things, I'm going to shock people that things are going to be, and even if like you don't like every one of his movies, if you look at every one of his movies, man, does he try to do something different? He tries to blow your mind. He blows our minds. And being a diehard Christopher Nolan fan, he does not have a bad movie in my book. I know some people hate Tenet. I know some people are not fond about Dunkirk. Yeah, there's stuff like that. But I just go, oh, I see what he was doing here. Oh, that's just cool. Now, when it comes to his new movie, which is most likely going to be a helicopter movie that's going to be starring Tom Holland and Matt Damon, IMAX CEO had this to say. Richard Gelfond just got everyone pretty much excited by saying, I'm pleased to share that Chris will be utilizing new IMAX technology in the making of the film, never before used equipment that our teams have been developing through this past year. Oh, say more. I'm almost there. Jeez. New IMAX technology. Oh, that's going to be great. That's going to be absolutely fantastic. And that's what I'm talking about. Oof. Love to hear that. So now we go over to Universal, and Universal, hey, guess what? They're going to be doing some Lego movies, apparently. Three of them. And I love it that, well, you'll see right here, but we're going to get 3 Lego movies. And here's a little list right here, and it's kind of, well, it's interesting. First off, it says live action. I mean, okay, live action, so something tells me it's not fully live action. Hollywood kind of utilizes live action a little too loosely. Anyways, 3 live action Lego movies are in the works at Universal. Jake Kasdan will direct a film based on the script from Andrew Mogul and Jared Paul. Patty Jenkins will direct a film based on a script from herself and Jeff Johns. What? And then, of course, we have Joe Cornish is writing and directing his film. Poor Patty Jenkins. I almost feel bad now. You know, Wonder Woman 84 really just kind of, well, let's face it, it didn't do her justice, pardon the pun, really at all. And turned out to be pretty terrible. And you know what? She was always a Johns person. Let's face it. I mean, I'm not trying to throw her under the bus or something like that, but, you know, I just remember, like, during all the times, and even when that came about, I mean, I might have had some conversations where I was going, man, I don't want to just start just shitting on Patty Jenkins, but, yeah, she was always, like, her and Johns were, you know, I think they were not, you know, they were close, and when it came to things, but, yeah, they're going to be making a Lego movie. That's fine. That's fine. Good luck. You know, she lost the third Wonder Woman, lost the Star Wars movie. But maybe this will be okay. But I don't fully, whatever. Good luck. That's all I got to say. Mortal Kombat 2, Todd Garner. Hey, he was like, hey, I'm going to tease a little bit of Mortal Kombat 2. How could I tease Mortal Kombat 2? Well, who's going to be the villain in Mortal Kombat 2? And hopefully Mortal Kombat 2 is better than the first Mortal Kombat because, well, first one had some good fight scenes, some good fatalities, but overall the story was A lot of things were and I'm kind of worried about this one, but at least we're getting some teases, and here's a little tease right here. Shao Kahn, baby. There we go. Hopefully he looks good. But there's his little silhouette right there of Shao Kahn. All right. Cool. I like that, but we'll see how this movie goes. You know? I don't have high expectations. I'll just say that. I'm still kind of wondering about, what's his name is Johnny Cage. Oh, have you guys seen like these Apple Intelligence commercials? Have you guys been seeing these? They're terrible. They're absolutely terrible. I don't know if you guys have seen the Apple Intelligence commercials, because, there's AI and the new iOS, and obviously it has AI, and then just like, oh, well, and we might as well just call it Apple Intelligence. Ha, 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 ha. Good job. Good job, everybody. But you have one commercial about a lazy slob working at an office, and he's sending out an email, and apparently when you just write out the email, you can hit the little Apple Intelligence thing, and it'll read over your email and then make you sound smarter and professional. So you got that. And then the worst one is you have a commercial where it's a father's birthday, and the two daughters are like, oh my God, happy birthday, Dad. And they're on the couch, and they made gifts for the dad. Meanwhile, the mom is in the kitchen sipping her coffee, looking like she's probably hungover because she probably has a drinking problem. And immediately she goes, oh my God, I forgot his birthday. She goes, I forgot. So then, using Apple Intelligence, she creates like this photo montage thing. Like she just has the AI create this photo montage thing that shows the daughters growing up and all this kind of stuff. And she goes, oh, well, I made this for you. And then they watch it and go, oh. And then she turns around and goes, well, dodge that bullet. And I'm just going, this is how you're going to freaking market that? What? So basically, Apple's like, hey, I know you're a lazy piece of shit. We got you. We got AI. It's going to help you out. You lazy fucking bastard. Oh, you hate your husband? Well, guess what? Here you go right here. If you need a gift because you fucking hate his guts and it's his birthday, well, you can create something last minute. It's like, oh my God. Oh, I was like seeing them during like, when was this? This was during the football game, right? This was on the 31st. So that was Thursday. Yeah, the Thursday night football game. I was seeing these commercials going, what the hell? Is this how they're marketing that? It's so bad. It just comes to show you that Apple does not think highly of. But at the same time, I'm going, yeah, well, the human race is the human race. Some people just do hate their spouse and are lazy pieces of shit. That I'm just kind of going, man, we are getting so close to Wall-E. Wall-E! We're getting so close to that. Don't let it happen, folks. And then we got this right here. Oh my God, can you guys believe it? Because the popular franchise that is House of the Dead. When was the last time you played House of the Dead? Yeah, House of the Dead. Remember when there was a 2003 movie, 2002, whatever it was, that was directed by Ball, that B-roll director. Remember that movie and was horrible? Well, guess what? There's going to be a new House of the Dead, and it's going to be directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. He's going to write and direct the new video game movie. Somehow, Paul W.S. Anderson is going to make a worse movie than that original one. Paul W.S. Anderson, fuck that guy. Okay? He was good in the 90s, Mortal Kombat, Event Horizon, and the first Resident Evil movie. I'll give you that. But once that guy got a hold of Alien vs. Predator, that first movie, and it was PG-13, that was probably because of the studio. I'll give you that. But that movie still was a shit sandwich with pickles. And I haven't forgiven him for that. All the Resident Evil movies, the sequels, were dog shit. And that Three Musketeers movie that he made, holy crap. What the hell was even that thing? Nah. I don't even know. What has he been doing the past decade? I don't even know what he's been really doing. Just Resident Evil. I mean, good on you. You married Mila Jovovich. I'm jealous for that because, my God. And I'm sure she's going to probably be in this movie. But does anybody want a House of the Dead movie? I don't think so. This is going to go directly to streaming. No one's going to see it. It's going to be ridiculous. But you know what movie that people are excited about? Oh, Ridley Scott. Do not play with our emotions right now. Please do not play with our emotions, especially when it comes to the Alien franchise and the fact that Alien Romulus just reinvigorated the franchise. Predator got reinvigorated. Everything's getting reinvigorated with these two different franchises that, of course, can do a crossover and everything like that. But, of course, we heard that Alien Romulus is going to be a follow-up to it that's going to have Kaylee, what's her name? You know, the 2 stars and her brother, Android. They're going to be showing back up in that. But then people are kind of wondering, like, well, what about real? Oh, boy, here we go. According to Hollywood Reporter, Ridley Scott says he's developing a new Alien film. Can this be the third movie that's supposed to bridge the old and the new? Please? Can it be that? Can we see what happens with David? Can we see how it bridges the two franchises? Come on, we want to see that story, please. Let's hope. But who knows if it's actually going to happen, right? Hey, even though spooky season is over, and we're in November and I'm wearing my, because now I'm seeing Christmas commercials and all that stuff. So I thought, hey, why not bust out my, it's not Christmas until, of course, you see Hans Gruber fall off the tower, I love this shirt. My mama film junkie got me this shirt. But, the day after, like, Halloween, it was like, hey, you want to see something creepy? Well, here you go right here. That's Pinocchio. That's Pinocchio right there. That's a creepy-ass Pinocchio right there. This is, of course, part of Pinocchio Unstrung, which is part of that whole blood and honey universe thing that they're doing with all this property. There's actually a video out there, too, that actually shows the movement of the face. It just shows you, again, horror is just killing it because they could start off these franchises with such low budgets that once they get a budget, they can create some of this really cool technology and stuff. It's pretty sweet. So, and then, yes, guys, oh boy, it's happening. It's happening, guys. It's definitely happening. Oh, you love to see it. Hit play. Yes! Godzilla -1 follow-up. That's right. Woo, baby. That's happening. We were kind of wondering, but I think it's fine. And then, of course, you got Takashi Yamazaki. And he also put out a video that how excited he is and everything. So, yeah, it's all just great shit, man. Great shit. We love it. We absolutely love it. And then, of course, we have the election that's happening tomorrow. And, of course, there's been numerous celebrities that, shocking, they've endorsed one candidate over the other. I mean, there's been some that have endorsed Trump. But, usually, like, when you endorse Trump, you're not really welcomed into the Hollywood machine anymore. But here's a message from good old Ricky Gervais that I absolutely agree with.
Hi, guys. Ricky G here, wellness and beauty influencer. As a celebrity, I know all about stuff, like science and politics. So trust me when I tell you who you should vote for. If you don't vote the right way, that's like a hate crime that makes me sad and angry, and I'll leave the country. And you don't want
that. Perfect. That's what I love about Ricky Gervais. Because remember the last time that Ricky Gervais hosted the Golden Globes, which was what, like 4 or 5, 6 years ago, whatever it was, and he totally roasted the room and just called everybody, called Hollywood out. So the fact that he posted that right there, that's what I love about Ricky Gervais. So good. Just absolutely so good. So good. You know what else is so good, guys? Green Lantern. That's right, Green Lantern. This has nothing to do with the DCU, but it's something to do with what I've talked about previous. Kind of wondering when this whole thing was going to be coming about. I've had the lead star on the Vodka stream, interviewed him, and I hope you guys saw it. There it is, guys. The short film, Green Lantern Secret Origin. It is now available to watch. We won't watch the whole thing right now.
Prepare messaging.
But here it is right here. You can kind of see it. They posted it over the weekend.
Fear doesn't slow me down.
There's Mark Justice right there.
I'm a mechanic.
And we got all this. Hey, bro.
Welcome.
Whoa, there's the costume.
What? Recognized. Ring on fire.
Who's talking? Is that the ring?
Affirmative.
Holy shit!
Yes. So there it is. It looks great. Looks great, and hopefully we get more. I mean, this thing is, you want to talk about a short film. It is a short film. It's like 4.5 minutes. I was like, wow, it's that short. Cool. But they want to make more, and hopefully they get to make more, because that looks really cool. We already saw what the costume looks like. All the posters, everything looks good. Hopefully I can get Mark Justice back on. We could talk about it a little bit more. I'll reach out to him. But really enjoyed that. Excellent fan short film right there. Gotta love that. Gotta love that. And then hopefully you guys saw that the 24-hour charity stream on the Geekverse channel. We did the trivia thing, and that was a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys saw that. I was on there for a little bit, and Travis, of course, part of it. You know, he's been growing his hair out for like a year, and then he shaved his head. So shaved his head. Hey, call out the bullshit. Call out the bullshit. Hey, I like to call out bullshit. In fact, I called out some bullshit at the beginning of this show. How about calling out some scooper bullshit? DCU Leaks right here was like, hey, here are my tweets right here when it came to Darren Aronofsky doing the Plastic Man, and then, of course, Ruthye open casting and blah, 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 blah. And then you have, can we get some toast, who essentially just went through their tweets, copied them word for word, used the same everything. Same everything. Scoopers are bullshit. Some of them might actually know some shit. Cool. Nobody's batting 1,000. But when you just do egregious shit like that, go fuck yourself. And apparently, the toast one, they're like really, really bad. Really, really bad. So Tom Holland is kind of a psycho. No, I mean, he's not a psycho, but I mean, you know, he just said something during a podcast that maybe he shouldn't have said, and hopefully Zendaya doesn't go like, wait, you do what now? I don't know if you guys saw this, but here's the quote right here. Tom Holland says he periodically Googles Zendaya. It's more of a bit of an anxiety thing, but I'll check to see that everything's good and just make sure we're all cool. I just give her a little Google. I'm like, she's good, fine. I should really hear the full context because I'm kind of wondering, is this all just one of those things? But I'm like, yikes. Little insecure there, bud? You're Spider-Man. But I get it. You're young. She's becoming a big star. You know, I mean, I almost kind of get it. I mean, it's not something that he probably should have admitted, but at the same time, I get why he would probably be insecure. You know, because let's face it, sometimes when it comes to relationships, especially high-profile ones, you know, she could easily just go, hey, I'm tired of the short king I got because Tom Holland, not a tall dude. Not a tall dude. I feel you, bud. She's pretty tall for a lady, especially if she wears those heels. Guess what? So, I mean, I'm just going to say this now. I would not, they're not going to last. There's no way that they last. I'm surprised they've lasted this long. You know, hopefully they last at least to the end of the next Spider-Man movie, but can we just be a little reality here? Do we really think they're going to go all the way? Do we really think that? They're both up-and-coming stars. I mean, Jesus Christ. She could probably pick whoever. Big strapping dudes. He probably gets, you know, titty pictures in his DMs all the time. I mean, I'm just saying. Reality. The reality of it all. And apparently, too, when it comes to Takashi Yamazaki, when it came to the follow-up to Godzilla Minus One, apparently he was getting offers to direct all these other movies. Remember, we were hearing about that he might do a Star Wars or even like a superhero movie, but he said, I can't tell you what these offers were. I turned them all down, crying tears of blood, because I'm making a new Godzilla movie. So he's dedicated to Godzilla. He's dedicated to Godzilla. And then we got SnyderVerse stuff right here, guys. I'm going to show you something that you might have not have seen, but this is the kind of stuff that I do support. When it comes to SnyderVerse stuff, and I see stuff like this, art, guys, art. Love to support the art, okay? When it comes to SnyderVerse, yes. When it comes to all the other noisy BS, who cares about that stuff? I've always been like, hey, support people making art when it comes to SnyderVerse things, and this is something that's, well, freaking awesome, and it would be an awesome poster, but, or, well, it's actually a motion poster. Look at this right here. What? Messy Pandas made this little motion poster right here. Jared Leto's Joker using a Batarang as his smile, and it's red, and it looks diabolical and evil. Look at how great that looks. Ooh. Yeah, Messy Pandas made that. Beautiful. I saw that. I was like, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right there. Are haters aware Zack Snyder is a supporter of Zack Snyder and voted him in? What? I don't know what you're saying there, critic Chris. Haters were aware Zack Snyder is a supporter of Zack Snyder and voted him in. Interesting. All right, now we got a rumor. We got a rumor right here. We got a rumor, and, you know, this is a scoopy thing, and sometimes I try to ignore the scoopies, but this one was interesting because, well, we just had Venom: The Last Dance. We had Venom, Tom Hardy, wrapped up. Not saying that he's fully done with Venom, but, you know, Venom, well, we're going to be talking about the box office, and it did pretty well it's doing pretty well at the box office, which would actually warrant another Venom movie, to be honest. But according to a certain scooper, Mr. Daniel RPK, Agent Venom movie is reportedly in the works at Sony. Now, I don't doubt that because it's Sony. It's Sony. It's Sony. And since Tom Hardy's like, yeah, I'm done after this, I'm not going to do any more Venom movies. Why not just be like, okay, so how could we do this? Do we have Eddie Brock? Do we get a new Eddie Brock? No. We don't need Eddie Brock. There's been other versions of Venom. Wait a minute. Agent Venom, that's Flash Thompson. And Sony, you know what to do. Joe Manganiello, huh? Why not bring that Flash Thompson back? Why not bring him back? You might as well. I think he would gladly come back. He's even been asked in interviews, and he said that he would. Sony, you better be getting him on the phone and see. Why not? Get Joe Manganiello back. I know it's been fucking 20 years. Over 20 years, 22, 23 years. Who cares? Multiverse stuff? Hey, you brought Toby back. Bring back Joe Mang. I say Joe Mang. Don't bring the one from Amazing Spider. No. Let's not bring him back. Bring Joe Mang back. That'd be the better choice, in my opinion. Oops. Hit the wrong button. Joker Folie à Deux. This movie's going to be studied. I've been saying it, and I'm going to keep on saying it because it is interesting to see the reaction. Obviously, it didn't resonate with certain fans, and it got shit on, and it bombed at the box office. But we got Hideo. I'm bad with names. Sorry, but you know who I'm talking about. This guy, you know who I'm talking about. Obviously, this guy right here, who has created some of the best video games. He saw Joker, and we always kind of anxiously await his review of something. Check out this big, long review of Joker Folie à Deux. The beginning of the film is an animation sequence reminiscent of the nostalgic Looney Tunes depicting a story of Joker and Joker's shadow. In the trial that follows, the question of his multiple personality is argued from beginning to end. Is the Joker Arthur? Is the Joker another personality, his shadow? Who exactly is Arthur? This revelation eventually transforms into a meta perspective. In the previous film, Joker was it really Joker who captivated audiences around the world, or was it Arthur? This question is constantly raised to Lee and even to the people of Gotham City within the film. We live in an age of mass production of poetic justice heroes, a battle between good and evil. Lately, many spin-off films with a focus on the villains have been made. Can villains be superheroes too? Is this question posed on the big screen as a DC movie to avant-garde? Was it the Joker that audiences around the world loved? Was it Arthur? This is where the reviews have diverged. Over the next 10 or 20 years, this film's reputation will likely change along with the permeation of hero movies to come. It may take some time for it to become a true folie à deux, but there is no doubt that everyone in the audience loved Joaquin and Gaga in this film. That is quite a review right there. Wow. He gets it. So you have one from like the crazy Tarantino review, and then you have Hideo right here. Love it. That's pretty good. And then, of course, rest in peace to, we lost a legend today at the age of 91. Lived a full life, but Mr. Quincy Jones. So if I had a drink right here, I would totally raise my glass to him. Yeah. Good stuff from Quincy Jones. Obviously, he created so many great things, was a producer on so many great pieces of music, an icon. And may he rest in peace. May he rest in peace. And then I'm excited for this because Scott Derrickson made a pretty awesome movie that was called The Black Phone. And, it felt like it didn't need a sequel, but apparently he came up with some kind of idea about a sequel, and it has started filming today. He took that image, posted it on Twitter, Black Phone 2. Kind of interesting little design right there. Curious to see where he takes the franchise. Curious. Very, very curious. Very, very curious. Anybody a fan of David Cronenberg's The Fly with Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis? I am. It's gross as fuck. And I actually put that on this weekend. I did put that on this weekend, but I fell asleep to it. That's what happened. I was trying to remember what I watched this weekend, and I fell asleep to The Fly. That's right. I was like, wait, I watched some horror movie this weekend. Oh, yeah, it was The Fly. I put on The Fly. I don't like the original Fly. The original Fly freaks me out more than the David Cronenberg Fly. And the reason why is, well, there's that spider thing at the end, and I fucking hate spiders. I'm arachnophobic. I got arachnophobia, so I hate that. Help me, help me. It's just so creepy. And I also don't like big fly heads. I don't know what phobia that is, but if I see a big fly head that's got like the hairs and the big eyeballs, freaks me out too. So, therefore, I prefer watching the Cronenberg crazy, gross version over the original Fly that was made in like the 1950s, 60s. Yeah, that one freaks me out way more than the Cronenberg one. But according to Deadline right here, a film set in David Cronenberg's Fly universe is in the works. Nikyatu Jusu is developing the film. I just love how it's like, okay, so is it going to be like a dude who crosses genetics with a gnat or a bumblebee? And then they're going to create all these different half, human and half bug creatures. And then they're going to do crossovers. I just love how, like, the headline says universe. That's just kind of funny. It's like, universe? All right. And then we got this. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. I mean, I know the tweets are taking too long. And I know, like, I ranted off a little too much at the beginning. So this stream is long, but it's fine. But we got Giancarlo Esposito, of course, who's going to be in Captain America, Brave New World. And, that movie's supposed to come out next year, and we've heard that the production has not been great. And guess what, guys? Guess what? Guess freaking what? Well, reshoots are still happening, according to him.
So the Captain America story, as much as it's been great to be on set, to shoot it, I'm actually... I'm going back next week to do a little more.
I'm so excited. Yeah, they're doing more because they're reshooting the entire fucking movie, it seems. Jesus Christ. But yeah, he's so excited to put the costume back on and everything, but a lot of us are just kind of going like, yeah, this movie got inflated when it comes to the budget, and what is going on with it? Should have been already in the can, but hey, what can you do? Crazy. All right, that's all the tweets, guys. Sorry that took so long. Had a lot to talk about before we dive into the topics. But I know you guys like a long stream. Why not? You like a long stream, don't you? What's wrong with a long stream? Let's see. I was just looking at some things. All right, cool. I doubt they're reshooting the whole film now. Just touch-ups. Well, I'm just saying there's been reshoots already. There's already been other reshoots that have been talked about throughout the year. So the initial principal photography, I'm talking about you, Mr. Wicks, is the fact that the principal photography already happened, and then they started doing a bunch of reshoots. This is not the first round of reshoots. I think this might be the third round or something. I don't know. All right, so talking about some DCU news. Obviously, we got our Ruthye. We got our Ruthye Mary Null, who is going to be, of course, in Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Everybody was wondering who's going to be Ruthye, and James Gunn, even at New York Comic Con, talked about seeing the screen test for their Ruthye. And he was very excited about it. Very excited about the movie. I'm very excited about it because I think it's going to be very unique. It's going to be more unique than what James Gunn's doing with Superman, I feel. But we have our actress. And that actress is Ava Ridley. And a lot of people are like, who the hell is Ava Ridley? But she was in the Three Body whatever, that Netflix series. Well, that's her right there. She's 12 years old. So she'll probably be 13 by the time they start shooting next year. I don't know. Maybe not. But that's who's going to be playing, of course, Ruthye. That's interesting. So I'm like, all right, cool. But one of my pet peeves, that I talk about, and I even talked about it on the Vodka stream because this happens all too many times. Anytime I posted on Twitter, hey, Ava Ridley is going to be playing Ruthye, and then you get met with people going, who? I'm like, you're really going to be that person? Were you expecting a name? Were you expecting a name for Ruthye? Were you really? Yeah, because, all the freaking names, the A-listers that are 12 years old, yeah. You really thought there was going to be a name? I just hate it. It's just a peeve of mine. Looking at you, Ben Everts, if you're out there. But I got 2 people go, who? And I'm like, well, were you expecting a name? There's not going to be a name for Ruthye. Are you kidding me here? So we got that. And then confirmed that Garret Dillahunt is going to be in Lanterns. That's right. We can all agree this is a misleading photo. but I'm not mad about it. Chuffed to begin. So yeah, we got him. Of course, he was in Army of the Dead. Been in many things. He was in Fear of the Walking Dead. Been in a lot of dead things. But he's joining right here. So Dillahunt will play a modern cowboy, William McCon, a self-righteous, conspiracy-minded man who masks his ruthless ambition behind a charming and calculated facade. McDonald plays Sheriff Kelly. Of course, we already knew that. Go away. Oh, of course, the freaking thing just locked up on me. As it does. All right. Well, my browser just completely locked up. So, but yeah. And I'm probably like glitching out right now. Sorry, guys. There we go. Now we're back. Boy. Every now and again, glitches happen. So there you go. So we got that casting. There is a rumor too that after Supergirl, like Teen Titans might be in the next one, but that was like a Scoopy thing and didn't really want to talk about that. And, you know, when it comes to Jimmy Gunn's here, let's see what Jimmy Gunn's, he hasn't been posting all that much, but he posted some things. I guess we can go over a little bit right there. He did post the reviews for Batman Arkham Shadow are in, Become the Night. Obviously, this is associated with everything that's happening when it comes to DC Studios. Naturally, there are people who are upset with that because it was in development before he showed up in DC Studios. And, you know, I'm just like going, who cares, guys? He voted, of course. And then, of course, he had Halloween on the set of Peacemaker and people doing costumes and whatnot. People having fun. Looks like a fun set. There's even a video, I think. Yeah, there's more people right there. Whoop, that's not right. Yeah, he had a video right here. Of course, with the thing, somebody who's like playing like a Peacemaker. Happy Halloween from the Peacemaker set. Somebody who's running around with a Peacemaker costume and, you know, basically writing Eagly right there. So, there you go. People having fun on the set. How dare they have fun on set, right? Right, guys? Just kidding. That's pretty much it when it comes to Jimmy Guns. Jimmy Guns. Now, speaking of Jimmy Guns, oh boy, so we got Dylan Walsh right here. Dylan Walsh, of course, who plays Lois's dad in Superman and Lois. He, you know, he basically was being interviewed right here on the Be More Super podcast or live stream, whatever you want to call it, podcast, it seems. But he was asked because, remember, like back when we heard that Superman and Lois was going to be done after this season, that the rumor was it was because of, you know, DC Studios and Warner Brothers did not want to have two live-action Superman projects. And it's just like, well, why wouldn't you want that? You have two live-action Batman projects that are going to be happening. Why not have two Superman ones? But then, of course, there's also the logistics of CW just losing money. There hasn't been money. So, I mean, whatever you want to look at it, but right here, we got Dylan Walsh being asked about that very notion, and this is what he had to say right here. And it kind of makes you wonder.
It just works beautifully. With the news, obviously, this show ending this season, do you think there's any truth? Because there's been a lot of, you know, thoughts about it around James Gunn's Superman, and the reason why it got stopped was because they didn't want any confliction with the Superman movie and the show. Do you feel there's any truth in that? That's why this show got ended.
I do, but I'm just speculating. But I do think there's truth in that. And you know, at the end of the day, you can't get mad about it. This is the business. It's a crazy business. You have to understand, when we first started Superman and Lois, we were set apart from the Flash. They put more money into what we were doing. We had longer shoots per episode. The idea was to be a superhero show that could be on TNT, Max, or whatever they call themselves now, and the CW. And we were. We showed up everywhere because it was a quality show. We had to compete with, basically, with the movies. And then CW changed hands and okay, they're going to do a Superman movie. Yeah, I think that did kill us, but I don't hold any grudges. I thought Superman and Lois was a quality show. Very moving, and it was always about family. And I hope he saw it. But that lasts forever, you know. But there's no question that that's part of why we ended.
No question. No question. So I think we could finally go like, yeah, that was part of it. Yeah, there's the other thing too when it comes to money and whatnot, but it definitely was part of it. When DC Studios came about, James Gunn's Superman was coming about, yeah, there was a little bit of like, yeah, maybe we should end that right there. But then at the same time, I'm also kind of going like, well, we got what? We're on season 5, right? Season 5? We're on season 5? You don't want to overstay your welcome. But then at the same time, maybe there could have just been good things that could have led up to season 7, season 8. But at the same time, when I'm looking at the track record to CW, it seems to fall apart around season 3, season 4. Like, at least when it came to me in The Flash. Again, then you could have a season that just kind of comes back around and is so much better. But at the same time, you know, when it came to Arrow and The Flash for me, season 4, I fell off. After season 4, I was like, I think I'm done. I started watching season 5, wasn't interested. When it came to The Flash, I started watching season 4, and I was like, I think I'm kind of done with this too. But of course, it could come back around. But I know Superman and Lois was 100% a better quality show than when it comes to Flash and Arrow and some of the other ones right there. And they did a great job with that. I've only seen the first season. I know. I got to catch up. I'm just waiting for it to end, and then I'm going to binge the absolute shiz out of it. But I hear great things. I've seen the previews. I've seen what they've put forth, and they've done a very good job. Because it was a little iffy, you know, because it's like, is this going to work? The costume looks ridiculous at times, you know, and stuff like that. But I like the fact that he was open and honest, because he knows how the business works. So he's not holding any grudges, which is great. But yeah, 100%, Warner Brothers and even probably Jimmy Gunn's in DC Studios were like, I think we should probably end this right here, because there's going to be a lot riding on this Superman over here, you know. So I think there was a little bit of both, as well as all the bullshit that was happening with CW and then them getting purchased by, I forgot what that company was called and whatnot. So there definitely is a combination. There's a combination here for sure. There's definitely a combination, but yeah, a lot of people are passing that around. Of course, if you hate James Gunn, there's fuel for you right there. There's fuel for you right there. By all means, post this like crazy and say F you, James Gunn. And by the way, can you make the Batfleck movie in Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3? Sorry. I know, it's jokes. I'm not targeting. I'm not bullying, guys. Don't worry. I'm not targeting or bullying. Making jokes. Don't worry. All right, so there you go. There's your DCU news. There's your stuff right there. I don't understand why there can't be 2 Superman projects. It's ridiculous because they look at Batman. Batman is just that. I mean, obviously, if William was here, he'd be like, of course they would not have a Superman project, because he talks about that. He's talked about that many times on his show, on the Vodka stream. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get it to a point. To a point, I guess you could say, but. All right, now we got the Penguin episode 7. Holy Lord. It was about time, guys, that we got a little flashback to young Oz. We get a little flashback back to like what, the 80s or whatever, and we get young Oz, and we see some shit that happens. I'm not going to talk about any spoilers or anything like that, don't worry, because it's still pretty fresh, but I'm just going to give my initial review of episode 7, which this series just keeps on giving, and it sucks that the finale is next. I don't know. I almost wanted to say season, but it might be series. But the finale is next week, and that makes me sad. But the way this episode ends, I'm going, oh boy. But yes, we do get a flashback, and we see that Oz. I mean, that's the thing. That's what I love about this series. Is like at first they make you really like Oz. Like when this whole thing starts, it makes you kind of like Oz. But now, with what's happened, Now everybody's going, I hope Sophia fucking murders this guy in the worst way. And then you see him as a kid, and he does something bad as a kid. He does something bad as a kid. And it was just kind of like, oh, okay. Well, yeah. Oz is terrible. He's terrible. But the way that this episode ended, it's like, oh, shit. Is it going to end like that? And then all of a sudden you get like a little review and go, wait a minute. That's not what was supposed to... Oh, shit. And then the way that it ended, whoa. It's pretty crazy. But one thing I want to talk about too, is I keep on seeing it, and please, stop it. Stop it. Okay? We get it. This whole thing is happening right now, and there's no mention of Batman. Okay? Get over it. All right? Get over it. This is like the same people that anytime there's like a solo Marvel movie or even like a Justice League movie, everybody just kind of goes like, where's Iron Man? Where's Captain America? Why is like this whole event happening and the whole team isn't here? It's like, we can have individual stories. We can have that kind of stuff, okay? I'm thinking that Batman, when it comes to Batman, maybe Batman, he kind of got fucked up at the end of the Batman. Maybe he's still recuperating. Maybe he has like a broken rib cage and sternum because he took a fucking shotgun shell to the chest and he fell down. He hurt himself pretty badly, but he was just running on that crazy adrenaline, trying to get people to safety. Maybe he's just like, I'm recuperating. But then, of course, I see the ending where him and Selena like part ways, and I'm like, well, he doesn't look like he's in pain there. But maybe he's in pain because he's broken up by the fact that Selena left him. Leave him alone. Maybe he's working on something bigger and better. But I can't, when people keep on talking about, where's Batman? I mean, I'm more like going, where's Gordon than Batman. I kind of hope that Gordon actually shows up in the season finale. That would be pretty sweet. But who knows if that's going to happen. Have Gordon show up, Officer Martinez, let's have all those guys show up in the finale. But I don't know. I just I don't care because I'm like, this is all about Oz and everything like that. I don't need, and that's the thing. And I think that's what Matt Reeves was really trying to emphasize. Like, we don't need Batman in there. It's all about Oz. So let's not freak out about that. But I get it though why people are questioning, but I'm just like, stop it. Just be happy that this is a good show without Batman. That's all I ask. All right, let's talk about the box office, and you wonder why Sony keeps on making these movies, why the Venom movies. At first, it seemed like the Venom The Last Dance was just gonna bomb. It was just gonna freaking bomb. And turns out, nope, that's not the case. Not the case at all. And of course, it won the box office over the weekend with a 49.2% drop, which is a pretty good drop. It's under 50%, $25.9 million. Sadly, the Tom Hanks, Robert Zemeckis, Robin Wright, Forrest Gump reunion movie here bombed at the box office, and that makes sense. But we got Venom right here, $316.8 million worldwide. Look at that international box office, 71.6% of the earnings. $110 million budget reported. Now, there was reshoots, and maybe that tacked on to the budget a little bit. Who knows how much? Probably not as much. But this movie's going to be profitable because the rule, times it by 2.5 to 3 and the budget, and it's already going to be headed there right now. And that's why I'm kind of going like, all right, if Tom Hardy's not going to come back to do, another Venom movie by himself, maybe he'll show up in like Secret Wars. That's where I'm kind of going like, well, the rumor about Agent Venom, probably true. Do a different kind of Venom. They're going to keep on continuing. Somehow Sony keeps on making money on these movies. It's going to be interesting to see how Craven does. For sure. Oh, and then speaking of Robert Zemeckis, and here, he tried to do something that was unique and different, and it seemed like a cool idea. I was going to go see it, but sadly I didn't go see it because I had a long day, and I just ended up like taking a nap, and it was too late to make the showing that I went to last Thursday, so I didn't go see here. It's not even that long of a movie. It's like an hour and 45 minutes. And, that was part of the thing. I was like, yeah, go see. It's not that long of a movie. To me, I would have thought that it was actually longer. But according to what I saw, it was like, oh, it's only that long? Well, Robert Zemeckis is one of, he's an icon. He's evolved filmmaking from technology and all the different things that he's done in the past few decades. Always trying to push, just like James Cameron, just like Ridley Scott, just like all the greats. But, when it comes to here, maybe that was just too highbrow. I don't know. I don't know why. It sounded like a cool concept, but the reviews were terrible. Like, people just did not like the movie. And, not everything is going to be a winner. Not everything is going to be a winner. But we have Robert Zemeckis, and one of the things when it comes to Robert Zemeckis that obviously my favorite movie of all time, and a lot of people's favorite movie of all time, which is Back to the Future. And, well, there's that, and there's also a talk about Roger Rabbit when he got interviewed by Josh Horowitz, Happy Confused Podcast. So this is what he had to say when it came to Back to the Future.
As much as any film ever. And many, including me, kind of call it a perfect movie. Like on the one hand, I can count movies that work on every conceivable level. You obviously have pride in it, but like when you look at it, like are there things in it that you say, oh, I could have done that better? There are flaws, or what do you see when you see that movie?
Oh yeah, no, you say that on every movie. I mean,
Josh, yeah, every creator, doesn't matter, everything could be so perfect. It doesn't matter. You see all the flaws. I love how it's like, of course there's going to always be. But it is interesting because you look at Back to the Future and you go, it's like a lot of people would say it's a perfect movie. But of course there's going to be all kinds of, flaws on it.
But that's it. But yes, I think it would be, if I actually watched one of my movies and said, absolute perfection.
Never happens.
Nailed it. Yeah.
What do I do then? I'd have to just be canonized, right? I mean, it would be like I wouldn't be human anymore. I would be right. So of course there are flaws, but I can look at Back to the Future and go, yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. That works for me.
Also, one thing I love, and I don't know if this was just happenstance of how it developed, when you look at that trilogy of films, I can't think of a trilogy where all three films are so different from each other. The second film is like Back to the Future on some kind of drug. It's on cocaine or something. it's manic. And the third one is like wholesome and an homage and a love story. I guess how much of that was on your mind, or how much of it was just like it happened that way?
I'm sure anyone who's a Back to the Future fan knows the story that Bob and I wrote one giant sequel.
Right.
Yeah, with 2 and 3, because that's why they filmed at the same time.
So the original movie that we wrote was going to be 3 hours long, and it was going to be what if you put part 2 and part 3 together, that would have been so it would have gone to the dark side, and then it would have like moved back to the wholesome side again. So, it was fun that we did 3 of them because it has a good trilogy energy, a 3-act trilogy drama to it.
Oh yeah,
I love that you and Bob have protected it so fiercely over the years.
Always
protect it. But you've never entertained seriously, as far as I know, the sequel, prequel, and
we always felt that this was enough, and that it had to just live the way live with it being the 3 movies, and the musical is more of a companion to the movies than a remake of the movie, or it's sort of like it's a whole nother thing.
Right.
And it's just the celebration of the movie, basically.
So have you had to actively go defend it? Because I would imagine from like Universal's perspective, that's like leaving so much money on the table for them. Do they come to you and beg you every couple of years?
Every 6 months.
Every 6 months?
No, that's an exaggeration. Oh, yeah,
of course it is.
Yeah. Isn't there anything we can figure out to do here? Isn't there anything we can do? And we have to say, there are different things. That might work, something like that, but to remake the movie or to suggest that there's a Back to the Future 4, it just isn't in the cards.
Right.
Good.
Good for you.
Good. There should never be anything, no reboots, no nothing, no anything. I mean, there's been plenty of other movies out there, plenty of other movies that have been inspired by that or been homages to it when it comes to time travel. You don't need to, it's just one of those movies, just like Jaws, just like, you just have those movies where you can't do it. You just don't touch it. You don't touch it. It's just cemented in film history, and you just do not touch it. And I love the fact that both him and Bob Gale, they keep on defending that. But then we also got, and this was interesting, Roger Rabbit 2, because, again, Robert Zemeckis evolving filmmaking when it came to Roger Rabbit and the whole live action and cartoons. Horowitz actually asked about that, too.
We're happy with the trilogy. Who Framed Roger Rabbit was a formative film for me. I don't know how you got a PG on that film in retrospect. Jessica Rabbit, there's The Dip, Judge Doom. It's a film for all ages, but
it gets dark.
You probably are responsible for some psychiatric bills for some children, I would imagine. There's some damage, in a good way.
Maybe when I made that, look, the good news was that we were able to make it right at the time when Disney was ready to rebuild itself.
Right.
Well, we were there when the new regime came in, and they were full of energy, and they wanted to do. And then I kept saying, and I sincerely say this, and I do believe this, and I say, I'm making Roger Rabbit the way I believe Walt Disney would have made it. And the reason I say that is because Walt Disney never made any of his movies for children.
Boom, right there. When I read that quote, I was like, that makes sense. And that even goes back to what Josh was saying, was the fact that it's like, wait a minute, this doesn't seem like it's fully for kids. And it is not. And that's why when Josh said that, it's like, yeah, you watched that movie. You can't tell me when you were a young one that you didn't get a little like, I'm feeling a little funny in my pants area when I see Jessica Rabbit. Or was that just me? Maybe.
He always made them for adults. And that's what I decided to do with Roger Rabbit. And the thing that you have to understand is, and this was funny because one time we did a test preview with just moms and kids.
Right.
And I was terrified because I didn't, these kids were like 5 and 6 years old. They absolutely were riveted to the movie. And I realized that, the thing is, the kids get everything. They understand it. They get it. You don't have to. I think the thing that Walt Disney never did was he never talked down to the children in his movies. He treated the kids like they were adults.
Which is good.
Did you ever talk to Nicholson or Polanski or any of the Chinatown folks about it? It's obviously a riff on Chinatown at the time. I saw it before I saw Chinatown, but was that conversation ever had?
Not about. I've spoken
Chinatown,
to them, but I never. Actually, I offered. I actually offered the Bob Hoskins role to Paul Newman.
Paul Newman.
And
wow.
He was insulted. He was insulted by the offer because. He just said, "Well, you want me to do a movie where I'm playing against a cartoon rabbit?" He didn't like it at all.
Amazing.
That wouldn't have worked. That wouldn't have worked.
I remember talking to you many years ago, probably 12, 15 years ago, about Roger Rabbit, and I asked you about the sequel question. And at the time you told me that there was actually, the original writers had written a sequel that you were really excited about.
Yeah, no, there's a good script at Disney, but here's the thing. Here's what you have to know, and you know this. The current Disney would never make Roger Rabbit today.
Yeah.
So they can't make a movie with Jessica in it.
Right.
So there's very little. So the Seaman and Price sequel script isn't ever going to see the light of day, as good as it is.
Really?
Because look what they did to Jessica at the theme park. They trussed her up in a trench coat.
Can't show it.
Exactly.
Was Eddie Valiant in there? Obviously, we lost the great Bob Hoskins. Was there a way to include him?
Well, yeah. Well, when the sequel was written, Bob Hoskins, Eddie Valiant was a lot of the story was that Eddie was no longer with us, but he would show up as a ghost. In certain times. So, but now we would have to. I don't know. I guess we wouldn't be able to do it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting, you prick. Come on.
Well, and of course, Ed. Damn it. And it is kind of funny because what did he say? I mean, the reason, like, because Disney owns it, and then you couldn't be able to do the voluptuous, very like, that kind of Jessica Rabbit. That's why, because of Disney, huh? Because of Disney. What are we doing, Bob Iger? But then again, it's like when it comes to like having him as a ghost. I mean, look what happened with Ghostbusters Afterlife. I mean, if the estate, the family of Hoskins was okay with it, maybe they could do something. But yeah, so there you go, guys. Him talking about Back to the Future and no potential of any kind of reboot, prequel, sequel, nothing. I mean, of course, there is the musical. And yes, somebody brought up in the chat that there was the cartoon. And I remember watching the cartoon and loving the cartoon and collected the toys that McDonald's or Burger King, one of them had it. And then, of course, Roger Rabbit 2. There's a great script sitting at Disney. There's a fantastic script for Roger Rabbit 2 sitting at Disney, but it will not be made. Wow. Robert Zemeckis confirming that. That sucks. I love Roger Rabbit. We all love Roger Rabbit. Fucking Disney. My God. But, nowadays you couldn't have that kind of character, apparently. Boy. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's go to some Twitter questions. See what we got over on Twitter. We got Eric right here. So Dave, with professional animation now deemed financially unsuitable for finishing the SnyderVerse, I'm 1,000% on board with the comic series. That's what's most likely going to happen. We get that. We now have a full, complete script and storyboards for the fans to take a cue from Thanos and say, I'll do it myself. Yeah. And you know what? We had Project Justice League, which was absolutely fantastic. And I may or may have not have heard that there might be something else that somebody's working on, but that's all I can really say about it. But yeah, so there you go. And then we got Axel right here. This arrived. So here's his Batfleck figurine. Well, that looks pretty cool. Like the texture of the costume looks pretty badass. It's BVS, of course. Look at that. Not too shabby. I like the cape. The cape's cool. I dig it. I found something for you for Christmas. Yeah, I've seen this. I've seen this before, Ryan. And yeah, Mama Film Junkie, if you're watching. I could have that. Yeah, I could probably utilize that. I mean, she already got me the lava lamp right here. Devin Wooter, hi Dave. Are you worried about the election tomorrow? You think Trump will win? Do you have a favorite John Wick villains? What's your favorite movie of the year so far? I mean, Dune is up there. Saturday Night's up there. There's a lot of things up there. I haven't really decided which is my favorite. Who do I think is going to win? I don't know. It seems like it's kind of a toss-up right now. I mean, I think Trump is going to win. It just seems like that's the case, but who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Whoever wins, we lose. All right. Darkness Under the Wind. Question number 1. Do you think we'll get the introduction of Kryptonite in Creature Commandos to set up Superman? I wouldn't be surprised. Sounds like could be a thing. Question 2. Due to how good Penguin is and continues to be, is the pressure on Creature Commandos to be really good to start? No, I don't think... To me, I'm like, I don't think anybody's looking at Creature Commandos looking like it's going to be on par for the Penguin. It is weird that is essentially the beginning of the DCU, but, you know, I don't think they're heavily relying on that to be like, you know, Penguin type quality, of course. Question 3, do you think if Apocalypse will be in the MCU, he gets saved as a big bad for the final saga? Yeah, they would probably have to do something like that. I mean, that's the thing. It's like we're going to wrap up the multiverse stuff, and it's like, all right, we need some more big baddies. And if we're going to get X-Men in there, of course, Apocalypse is going to be, he'll be up there. Adrian Woodbanks, best of DC out of this year has to be both Superman and Lois and the Penguin. I'm going to miss him. How about you, Dave? Yeah, I mean, I got to catch up on Superman and Lois. So a good thing is I have like 4 seasons to actually catch up on with Superman and Lois. So I'm good with that. Of course, I'm going to be sad when the Penguin goes away. Also, do you think the Batman will show up in the season finale of the Penguin? I don't think so. I'm wondering if Gordon might show up, though. Mr. Nobody, hey Dave, I know there's a lot of hate towards James Gunn for canceling projects, but what else is new? I get the feeling that Gunn will have a crisis event, which will be his version of Endgame. Thoughts? Would be pretty interesting. You know, I mean, never say never. And I mean, wouldn't that be crazy if, like, he does, like, you know, 10 years from now or 8 years from now or something like that, it does lead to some crazy... They decide to do, like, he does have some kind of crossover event, and we get, like, a Henry Cavill back. We get a Ben Affleck back. Maybe that's what he talked about with them. I don't know. That would be pretty damn sweet if that were to happen. You get some of that stuff going. But, I mean, right now, I think he's mainly focused on, he's like, maybe there's probably something on, like, a whiteboard somewhere of, like, yeah, maybe we can get to something over here, but we got to focus on this shit right here. But, you know, I think it's too early to tell, but it would be pretty sweet if there was something that would lead to a crazy crisis event that would bring in multiple Supermen, Batman, and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, you know, but maybe not. Maybe they just go like, no, that's too Marvel. That's too Marvel. That's what Marvel's doing right now. But anyways, yeah, we'll see. But anyways, guys, all right, that's pretty much it. Appreciate you guys. Subscribe to the channel, do all that. Again, sorry for ranting off so much in the beginning. Just had to respond to all that. And again, you know, I'm hoping that it doesn't like go any farther than just back and forths. That's all I have to say about that, really. Because, you know, when it came to that, you know, a few weeks ago, when it came to that, that was way over the top. This right here is just a back and forth. And hopefully, now that the animation thing has been squashed by Jay Oliva, we can actually just, all right, let's just move our separate ways, like I should say. All right, guys, love ya. Make sure you guys subscribe, do all that. Got everything right there. I did post a Patreon pod last night, so that was fun. Haven't done one of those in a bit, so check that out. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday, all right? Talk to you later.